Hello, and welcome back to the Doll Channel. Today we'll be reviewing the WM 140cm D-Cup doll with head 266 and head 56. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside of the box. We'll see that there's some up arrows here that are good instructions for FedEx or UPS drivers who will misinterpret them as down arrows. We'll see some more up arrows here on the side. Don't worry, they'll ignore that one too. An umbrella saying, hey, don't get this box wet. And a broken cup saying, hey, don't get any broken cups near this. I think that's what that means. And at the top, we'll have a marking here saying what model of doll we're dealing with. This is a 140cm doll with head 56 and a head 266. Awful handwriting there. Same symbols here on the back side of the box as we've seen on the front. A label here for UPS when they deliver the doll. You'll hear the sound of your doll being slammed onto the pavement or dirt outside your porch or hut. Very nice. Let's go ahead and open the inside of the box and see what we have inside. We'll see one flap here, two flap here, three flap here, and four flap over here on the left. We have a soft fleece blanket inside, some beautiful cocoa colored bobs underneath that. We also have accessories bag here with a granny flannel. I don't know what that is. We also have, that's a nightie, and some accessories here in this bag. Check that out. Some WM wigs. WM having about 15 different wigs to choose from, depending on where you go. You'll see that there's also a pink wig offered by WM. Now, what we have is we have some foam blocks there. We'll remove those. We'll see that there's a nice little divider here. Very good. One of the things that I've seen very characteristic to WM, the foam which is molded around the doll here, which is very good for packaging and shipping reasons. We'll see that there's two heads inside here. When you order a doll from us on thedollchannel.com, you'll be able to talk to one of our representatives, and well, when you order on the website, we'll get you an email asking you what second head do you want and what eyes and what wig do you want. However, if you talk to us on the phone, we'll figure out what heads you want on the phone, and then we'll send you the invoice. You can pay however you wish to pay, whether it be with credit card or debit card or Cash App. We just don't accept sexual favors. Next step, we'll stand the box up here. Now that we've got our clean bed or table there behind us, we'll open up the flaps here. You can see that the doll is stood up. Beautiful bobs up here on the top. We have the heads here on the bottom. We'll go ahead and remove these heads, and then we'll have these heads off to the side just to make sure. If you do put them on the bed, make sure that you put the head well away from the edge of the bed, as I've known some heads to roll off the edge of the bed, and this can cause damage to your $350 to $450 head. I assure you that you do not want that. Go ahead and move any foam blocks out of the way. Next step, after we have these flaps all opened up here, right? Kind of like a game show on TV. We'll do the famous, Donald Trump's famous wrestling move. We'll grab her by the pussy, and then we will reach our other arm here around her lower back, and then we'll lift her up. Now that we've got the doll here on a clean surface, this could be your bed or your table, whatever you want to do. We just go ahead and we're going to shimmy this bag up over her butt while rotating her weight from the left to her right side. We can see that now all I have to do is lift up here behind her shoulder blades, and then I can freely move the bag out from under her. Next step, we'll take our razor blade and we'll cut the tape off the legs or off of the feet, and also the arms and hands. We'll be very careful to cut upwards and away from the skin in case you don't know how to handle a knife. And once we do that, and once we remove all of this, we'll see what she looks like after that. Now, It is worth noting that sometimes these will just simply pull off, but that is not the case here. So if you have like another brand of doll and you get it, sometimes you don't even have to cut this. You could just pull this and it'll slide right off, but that's not the case here. So we're gonna have to find the tape, we're gonna cut up and away, and then we're basically just gonna peel this tape where we've cut it. We're gonna peel it away. It kind of reminds me of peeling like crab legs to get the meat, even though some people really hate having to work for their food. They want it to already be caught and killed and steamed or grilled. So basically, once we do this, we'll go ahead. We don't even have to cut all the way up there. We could just cut here where it's thin, right? And then once we cut away all of this foam, then all we have to do is just pull this off, and then that'll make it easier for us to repackage this hand when we send it to our customer. And one thing that you may not have noticed because you're not here and you're not me, these are the new articulated hands by WM that everybody was asking to pay for. Oh, wait, I think it seems that we have a new development here. The update is that people did not want to pay for them. They just wanted them, you know, for free. But sadly, you will have to pay a little extra for this feature. But what you get is something very cool. You're going to have the ability to fan out the fingers. Ooh, look at that. And if you want your doll to make gang signs, this is really an awesome feature for that. So you could see that you could spread the fingers. You'll also be able to bend the fingers. Ooh, love that, love that, love that. So we're able to bend the fingers. They have some joints in there. Now, I'm not going to find out how many joints because it kind of feels like there's like not a joint right here. It kind of feels like there's only one joint in this finger as opposed to having this longer joint right here. So, you know, this one, it only has like one in each finger, it feels like. It doesn't feel like there's really another joint here at the end of the finger, like right before the nail, the way you would see in a human. But who gives a damn? It's really realistic because I think WM was thinking like, why do we have to put that extra finger joint? It's not like you can like easily bend that furthest, that distal joint. I see that the thumb doesn't appear to have the joint in the middle. It looks like the thumb only has the joint here super close to the hand itself, where these have a joint here and here. So there's two joints in these longer fingers, it appears like. The pinky having one here close to the hand, and then I think, yeah, there's another one there. So even the pinky has two joints, but with the thumb, it appears that there's only really one joint. So we can go down. Let's go ahead and raise that there, make it a little more apparent. We can bend all of these down at the first knuckle, and then we can go even further with these. However, with the thumb, it appears that there's only really one joint here, which is okay. We don't need to be perfect. I mean, you can see that this gives the appearance of having a very realistic hand look for this WM doll. This is not a feature that is limited to WM. Many other doll manufacturers soon will follow suit with this feature. WM, YL, and OR dolls having the ability for this. Now this can be incorporated to dolls 140 centimeter and above currently for WM, YL, and OR dolls. WM and YL and OR doll, all part of the Jinsan product umbrella of dolls, are offered now in 3 different TPE softness grades of regular or firm and softer and softest. Sadly, there was no official name given to these TPE grades. I probably would have gone with something more like silver, gold, and platinum, or bronze, silver, and gold, or tin, rust, and dirt, or something, I don't know, just something a little more recognizable. But for right now, we don't really have any official names for what these are, and that's okay. Really, the most important thing is that the customer is explained to by the representative what it is that they're getting. Here in the back of the hand, we have like a little bit of molding to show the skeletal features that are mimicked by the TPE shape. There's actually not really skeletal bones in here. There's really a hand plate with the articulated pieces of metal connected to that. So if I could find a picture, I'll upload it, but I don't think that I have that currently, so sorry to say. For those watching the uncensored version off of YouTube, you'll be able to see the detail here in the labia and anal hole. We'll be able to show you that when you spread the legs here, there will be some distortion. This is to be expected. Completely normal that the vagina will not stay the same shape, right? So some people will not like that, obviously. But this is a fixed vagina. It does look like a little bit more of an open hole, so this should be good for chads, possibly giga chads. But it should fit the average guy. Now, there is a varying amount of penis girth among the population of guys. So keep in mind that no doll will fit everybody perfectly. You'll see that there's about an inch of separation here between the anal opening and the vaginal hole there halfway in. You'll see that there is a good amount of space there between where the labia begins and where the actual texture in the hole begins. But to where the labia begins to here, we'll see about 3/4 of an inch from the rim of the anal sphincter hole where you can actually put something inside to the beginning of the texture here. Now if you're going to go here from the rim all the way up to here, then you're probably looking at more like 1 3/4, 2 inches there. So yeah, 2 inch from hole to hole. But I guess it's not super important as to note that there is some stretching here between the mons pubis and the leg. We'll see some tension here. It's really not that bad though. And this TPE is quite soft, meaning that the customer may have ordered this in a softer TPE grade, which I can't remember because I left these details at home. I can always make a note of that later on in the video. This skin does appear to be dark tan as opposed to cocoa, which I originally thought it was. This dark tan skin looks like it may have gotten a little darker from the time that I started selling dolls to now. It does appear quite dark. Maybe it's just me, but this darker skin color is going to not match very well with a lighter tan color. So this also lets us know that if we're going to match a head with a body that we already have or whatever, just a reminder, it's very important to match the skin color as best as possible. And many manufacturers frown upon the practice of mixing, for example, one manufacturer's brand body with another manufacturer's brand head, such as with a WM doll body and a Doll Forever head. Many of them absolutely hate that. But does that stop many doll owners from doing it? Absolutely not. It's just about as effective as making marijuana illegal. It doesn't really take any out of the hands of people. In fact, it probably makes it even more accessible to minors. But that's a point for another day. Here's the detail on the bottom of the hands. Light M-like line there on the bottom. Super realisto. And then those articulated hands looking quite good, looking quite good. We can bend those fingers back and forth. Here on the breast at the top, we can see that the areolas are on point. Get it? And here at the foot, though it is not articulated, I will say that the big toe does have a wire, very traditional for WM, and the toes here do not have wires, they're just jiggly toes, which some people freak out about in the comment section on YouTube. We can see a seam running here along the end of the doll. This is from the molding process. Down here to the feet with the light pink toenails. And standing feet bolts here at the bottom of the foot. Standard Allen wrench connection here for these feet bolts. They can be unscrewed and removed by hands in many cases. You will have to make sure to squeeze quite a bit, as sometimes there will be a lot of oil on the surface of the TPE. It'll get on your hands and it'll make it very hard to grip that. So it's actually much easier to use Allen wrench itself. WM did include these 6 plastic caps. Now these will stick out above the surface of the TPE, so they're not going to do much for foot fetishists, but these are good, I'm told, for preventing scratching of wood floors, and that's wonderful. You can see that these bolts are quite long. I won't bother to screw them in, but you may note that this one here is a shorter one, where this one is much longer. I believe it's because this one is for the heel, or that, yeah, it looks like these shorter ones might actually be for these 2 top ones, and then the longer one is for the heel, or at least that's how it appears. Honestly, I don't care. If you take advantage of the plastic caps for the bottom of the foot, good for you. I think it'll help for balancing the doll. As you may have noted, that there are some little ridges along the perimeter of those circles. So there will be more balancing surface there. So if you're one of those people that wants to balance their doll in the middle of the room, you could do that. But please don't do that if you bought the doll from me, because I don't want to get that email hearing that you damaged your doll really badly. Now, have some people done it? Yes, but I don't think that it's a very good move. Standing feet are mainly meant for standing the doll leaning up against the wall, and they're very good for storage purposes as well as standing bent over positions. They're also good for helping with maintenance when you oil the doll, and they can also help you get the doll dressed easier, because it's easier to pull a skirt or shorts up over the butt while the doll's standing rather than laying down in bed. Here, after removing the Roy Orbison face mask for protection, we'll see these dark blue eyes. I know, you're like, really? That's dark blue? That kind of looks like light blue, right? But if you see the light blue from WM, it's actually even more light blue than this. It's even more light. It's crazy. So you can see that there is a lower and upper eyelash on this doll here. Super annoying when you're going to change out the eye. So you'll absolutely love that. This head actually has an enhanced mouth in there. We can open this up. I know this is a standard mouth, actually. I thought it was a enhanced mouth. So a standard mouth means that it's like a tunnel mouth, so it's like a vagina rather than with a tongue and a uvula in the back. We'll see an M16 connection here. Very common for many dolls. I would be so bold as to say over 99% of dolls have that connection. So this is what makes it so tempting to switch brands of heads and bodies interchangeably. You can see that this has a quick connect here that comes with it. This other head also has a quick connect, meaning that this is a screwdriver, a slot there. In case it ever gets stuck, you can use a screwdriver to free it. But it means that one side screws into the head, and then this side you just push down onto the body. Here is head 56, which we have featured on the channel before in a different color. You can see standard mouth there on head 56 as well. No tongue in there. And we see the nostrils there molded by WM. And something kind of crazy, a brown new color here with hints of orange. 56, a very, very popular pretty head. It's the reason she's been on our channel before. Very pretty head here. WM makes this head work very well with many different body types. This 140 centimeter D cup being the body that we are featuring today on the channel. You can see that the white of the eyes on this brown eye is very white, and here on the right for this head that the white is very white as well. That could not be said of many of the past models of WM's eyes. WM switching their eye manufacturers several times over the year. I can recognize that this blue eye and these brown eyes I've never seen before. So they go to different manufacturers, and I say that that's a good thing, because with these eyes, the eyes are white, where in the past the white of the eyes was very yellow and very jaundiced, like a homeless alcoholic person. But now we could see that these heads are looking very good. And remember, kids, Confucius say,
getting head is good, but getting two head is better.
For accessories, we'll get a TPE doll user guide here, WM showing their product overview, and posing instructions. Aw, how cute. I may not be perfect, but who is? And don't just look at the pictures. Cool, some really great stuff here. If you want me to satisfy you as long as possible, you better read my user manual and position of the doll when delivered. Cool, so you got a lot of really great reading here for you to do at Friday night while your cool friends are out doing other stuff. We got molding pose and skeleton, range of movement, shoulder and upper arm. Very cool. You can pause the video and read that if you want. That's very fun. Now then, there, isn't it? You have the positioning movement here for you if you want to see the different movements that the doll can do. You'll also be able to see that there's a certificate of authenticity in the back. You could scratch the code and enter it on WM's website to see if the doll that you received is real or not, though it is quite a enigma to me. I don't know why somebody would send something with a certificate of authenticity and like a code if it was fake, because then when you entered it on WM's website it would say it was fake. So I think that's hilarious. But you have these little things here. Yeah, very cool. Little plastic cap dealies. And those are for the bottom of the feet. We have Grandma's Nightie. And if you want to try some tea from China, here you go. A milk sachet. You could try this tea if you want to see what that tastes like. If you're really brave. Here's WM wig number 2. A nice flowing long red wig, which we'll see in our review today. And we also have wig number 3, a really good looking blonde wig from WM. We also have a number of different fun accessories here inside, shall we? We have some white cotton gloves, Fantastico, a douche bottle, and this thing here, the nozzle is stuck inside, so you just take this out, flip it 180 and screw it in. You'll see what I mean when you get it. I'm not going to do that. And then we also have a USB heater. Very cool for those who want to heat the inside of the anal or vaginal orifice. You could even use it on the head if you want. I advise not leaving the USB heater on inside the doll unattended, especially for long periods of time, because it can get really hot. This is a suspension kit for our customer. And this here is the head bolt, M16 head bolt. They could use this if they don't want to use a quick connect. I noticed that the quick connect between the head and the body, the bolt was like really, really tight. So you have to really push the head on, which is good once you actually get it on. But man, was it hard to pull the heads off. So this is really good if you just want to screw the head onto the body instead of use a quick connect. Here we have an M16. This is all one piece, which is cool because in the past it used to be 2 pieces. You would screw it in, and then when you would unscrew this part would get stuck in the head. So this is one piece. This is great. I love that. Here it looks like, I don't know if they like welded it or what. This says M8. This is actually an M16 bolt here. So, and then we got an S hook. That way you can suspend the doll. Very cool. And let us not forget the star of the show, the comb, which whores itself out across many different manufacturers.
wow.
Oh, damn, Tiffany, you looking good in that top, girl. Yeah. Oh, hey! Back so soon? How are you doing? How did you like the review of the WM 140 centimeter D cup with head 266 and 56? Wasn't that a nice little doll? I really enjoyed reviewing this doll, seeing the articulated hands in person. What a nice treat. If you like this doll, you can check it out on thedollchannel.com. I'll put a link to the uncensored review in the video description. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll also be able to join our Discord if you email me at sales@thedollchannel.com. I'll get you an invite to our Discord where our hentai tentacle prawn lovers and furry prawn enthusiasts from around the world gather to talk about doll-related issues sometimes. You can ask us at sales@thedollchannel.com if you've seen any other doll or any other combination of doll on the web that you might be interested in. I'm sure we can hunt it down and find the factory that makes it and get it for you in many, many cases. We continue to review different dolls here on our YouTube channel, and we'll spread out to other different media such as our Twitter, where you can go join us there on our Twitter, which is slowly growing. I hope that y'all enjoyed the video, and if you did, comment, like, subscribe, share, and have a great day.